get back into that shape, and it seems like he loves his team a lot. I think they all feel like they found a pretty good composition in the 5 that they have. Then maybe we are in store for a new era. Maybe this will be the tournament. That could be a breakout performance from G2, and we'll make up some lost ground where they had kind of a great run at ECS, but not winning, obviously. And
they did win ECS. It was ESL that they didn't
ESL.
win.
Sorry, yeah. Right.
But either way, they have been great recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back into the pistol round. Only one player buying anything other than Kevlar. That will be Smits, who's actually with a Tech-9 and a smoke.
Tech-9 smoke, he's been dropped it. Surprised to see the Tech-9 go to the man who doesn't have armor. Interesting choice.
Definitely has that spam ability, though. Looking at the aggression, Cajun will spot out. Has a little bit of support from his teammate, but they will quickly fall back after spotting a couple of players. Of course, you do have to go for these sort of information plays on Cobblestone. It will be G2 starting off on that T side. Shocks waiting around drop.
Yeah, just sitting patiently, not going for too much info. Looks like they're about to make a move, and here it is, jumping down. Rubino gonna back off. Look to take a fight. Gonna need a headshot here. No Shocks opens up. First kill of the round.
Yeah, Cajun looking to try and respond, but it's quick kills all across the board for G2. Leaving only 2 players. One will be coming around the flank. That's MSL with Magisk just trying to hold now. This is going to be a very difficult scenario to retake. It will be possible for him to find an individual duel. Shocks is going to go peeking and not actually going to spot out Magisk, so they still don't really know where he is. Scream going to go around the corner as well. Scream, not someone mentioned too much so far, but still a crazy good player at the moment, especially come back into form in this team. And, well, that was a pretty easy pistol round.
Yeah, pretty easy. They kept it simple. They didn't even really need to use their utilities, relied heavily on their entry. Shocks delivered, and it's really disheartening to have to be in like a 2-on-5 retake, but the saddest part is that you kind of have to go for it. There's not a lot of reasons to save on the pistol, so making that effort, but coming up short, not getting any kills either, I don't think.
Interestingly, going for full SMGs in this round, trying to make as much money as possible. Only one player with armor, though, so I don't know if that's just a read or just a more standard G2 thing. I have seen them do this before, and it's high risk, but against all the players with no armor, this should work fairly effectively. Definitely looking towards those Deegs and Config, the one player who's not going to take as much damage from these SMGs, but you can already see Shocks, the way he's playing, just looking to almost drag players towards him as he goes for these sprays, as the rest of his team are already dedicated to A. They should now be going a little bit more quickly because there isn't actually anybody there, and they've already spotted 2-3 players over towards that drop-down position. And, well, now they actually go out. It's not that bad for Dignitas. They've got the player onto the side. That's going to be Rubino looking for the kill. Already they're doing a hell of a lot of damage, though, and now RPK. He's going to be cleaning this up. Smiths, well, all RPK, actually, getting himself a nice amount of money, and this is the one advantage of having these SMGs. Huge amount of money made.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Tom, it looked like it could get ugly, as they don't manage to find another kill. So they did have a lot of position to try to set up, get out a window, get into the site, but it was G2 managed to clean it up no problem. It seemed like as they jumped out of heaven, they figured G2 were already on A, so maybe they were being a little bit too careful. And yeah, all they wanted to do was a little bit more damage than that. But Shocks as well, I think, was in a position to try to get more kills than he did, and couldn't complete them, but that's okay.
Yeah, not a lot lost in that scenario. One of the main advantages, along with the money, is the fact that if you do lose an SMG, it's not going to cost you too much money. In terms of this round, well, what I am liking for Dignitas is they're clearly saving for a bigger buy. They didn't buy Kevlar in the previous round. They've got a few P250s in this, but this is basically a utility buy, like saying, okay, in our 3rd round, we want fourth round, we want as much as we can.
Yeah. MSL looking for this off angle. Can't find the pick. Scream through the door with the UMP, takes his face off. And Shocks to face off with somebody else's body, though. Watching the flank, very aware, gets his frag, and that's a lot more money. I ended up doing math so badly that I did 4 times 800 or something like that when it was...
You're not paid for your math skills,
no,
so it's all right.
Man, I always knew, don't do math live.
Oh, Rubino with a nice kill. Actually has an opportunity to get Shocks, but RPK Well, actually a team ace. So 4 kills for RPK previous round. Now his team gets 1 apiece. Now, well, do you want to see them upgrade all these weapons? What sort of a bonus round or?
Yeah, so they hung on to so many SMGs, they have the options. I think they only want to actually upgrade a couple of them, to be honest. But yeah, and the bonus round effect is really important to try to take advantage of because you're hedging your bets in such a smart way. Next round, if they lose, they can buy again. A lot of incentive to try to not spend any money here. But even if they upgrade, they did such a good job on their anti-eco, so they have lots left over.
Config in the corner. Are they going to check? They haven't actually checked. Did they line up? He gets himself 2. Cajun and Rubino, they combine as well. And, well, a very quick round coming out from Dignitas. They do, however, have to deal with the next buy, which is going to be much more fortified.
Definitely a severe lack of flashes right there. If they tried to run through the smoke, they were just hoping that nobody was going to be up on plat, but I don't think they applied enough pressure to know that they could get away with that. There's no molly on stairs, I don't think, or maybe he crossed early. But here he is, 2 headshots. Cajun joining in the fun. An extra kill. 1 goes to Rubino with a Cajun assist. Like, damn, they got mowed down really hard. And that's a 5 alive round for Dignitas, so they're not in danger of any kind of reset.
And that's always a big factor. Config quick to cross. You do have Smiths on the AWP. And this is a much better buy. Full utility. Molotov's ready. I do hope the 1 goes into that corner this time. I feel like it's not a position you don't check twice. I think once it goes wrong once, you go, okay, yeah, now we're going to make sure we check that.
Yeah, well, so the idea is you have a smoke, you might as well use it, and if they want to come through it, then that's their loss. I mean, he could probably easily dodge flashes and also have teammates to assist him, but as soon as that smoke dissipates, he moves to a better spot. Really good not to play the same spot twice. You will definitely get burned, and in that case, literally with that Molotov clearing it out.
Yeah, quite heavy on their positions towards A. Dignitas, as I say, that they do start to rotate another over, but leaving this B site a lot down to Config and Rubino. Maybe not expecting the same thing twice. Still 2 players over towards A, and well, it is a site that you really need to fortify. Shocks from drop finds that first kill. Now Config, that flash has worked lovely, but he's not going to get any kills for it. Just does damage. And that may not be enough. Magisk, Cajun B, they found a couple back. Cajun again, picking up 2. Nice work from him, and Magisk, he's grabbed another one. This leaves just Scream left to tap away.
Quite literally from a 3-on-5 situation, Scream is now the last alive with very little HP, and MSL picks up the kill. He doesn't even get an extra one to take home. Wow, that's unreal. They're talking about Cajun not getting scared. He looked very calm in that situation, shooting as many bullets as he needed to kill those 2 players. Shocks coming out, drop, opening up the round, and then another player from G2 getting a frag just meant like, oh, Dignitas are in such a tough spot. There's no way they're getting out of this, and all of a sudden, round falls apart. And I think maybe they're coming out a little bit too light. Once they get their entries, they should take a second. That's really hard to suggest, actually, because they could, you got to, 3-on-5, all you have to do is trade.
Yeah, it's not something you can justify too much with utility usage. They did their work nicely. It was just after that, Cage and Magis combined to do some nice work. Now we actually see the CTs going really heavy. They've basically said, okay, there's no way they're going B again, surely. And actually they are. Luckily, well, no. I was going to say Config has found 1, but Shocks and Body quickly find themselves a couple of kills. This stack has not worked out at all for Dignitas. They've got to try and retake this one. Magis will find 1 back to a 3 versus 3. After plant positions aren't bad, but they don't have the weaponry to do this or the utility already. A couple of shots going back for Scream and Body. Again, it's all down to Magis. This time Scream does have the HP to deal with. 1 shot to the head and he just hits the body. Doesn't matter. Scream does the work, and well, that was a bit of a misread.
Yeah, they steal it right back, and it kind of makes you wonder, is there room for a read in that situation? Do they really need to go stack the A site? I've heard Fallen talk about a strategy where they have no one at A, and they have 5 players over towards B with 1 as maybe a connector rotator, and that's because A is very retakeable, but B is super difficult, and it already takes so many people just to hold on a standard hold in the first place, like 2 to watch drop and 2 to watch long. So for Dignitas to go for that setup, maybe a little bit risky, maybe a little bit too risky, maybe a little bit uncalled for.
Yeah, and well, economy was a big problem for G2 in the last round. In this round, it's Rubino taking a bit of a skimp, and pretty much everything you could ask for on that G2 side. They're initially starting off towards this A site with a couple of rotation players. Nice flash RPK with the entry. And this is already leaving problems for Dignitas as one player is down. Magisk is there to trade. He's had a nice start to the game. Definitely a highlight player. Rubino with the flash. He's traded out, but that's actually not too bad because he only had an SMG in play. Still gives the advantage over to G2. In terms of utility, there's actually some saved as well. And smoke flashbangs, if well positioned, can be used. Plenty of time left for G2.
Everybody really pitching in from Dignitas there. Rubino getting that frag, as you mentioned. He goes 1 for 1, but I think he's almost happy to take that. The fact that he has an SMG, as you highlighted, is a really pertinent factor. And now there's going to be an extra smoke on config. That's huge. Slows this round down a lot in a situation where G2 are posturing for a B hit. So this makes G2 feel like they know it's going to be a B hit, or that there's an option for it, and they have nothing to do but wait. Last time they went through the smoke, they got wrecked.
Yeah, this time we also have Cajun holding the cross with the AWP. He takes a pick. Things could quickly fall apart. Smiths with an AWP running in at this timing is not going to be the best idea, really. He's going to rely on his teammates unless he hits some crazy shots, and there's Cajun. He drops the bomb as well. This leaves it pretty risky with the amount of time that's actually left. There's Body to find one back, but it's down to just 10 seconds. He's got to go for this plant. May be able to get it down, but at the second he goes for it, they rush in. Magisk, he actually peeks, doesn't go for the shot, but eventually will hit the frag, and that's another for Dignitas on the board.
Yeah, didn't want to get caught off guard there, but with that much time remaining and 2 players left, I think it's actually best for the one person to try to take the fight, because if he gets off the bomb, then he probably doesn't have time to set up again. And if he's on the bomb, you stop the plant. But it was in a gray area of like 7 to 8 seconds, so it was probably safer to just play that 2-on-1 safely, or in the way that he did. Overall, though, that came down to 3v3, and you know, they scraped together what they could. That's Dignitas, and they managed to get the kills necessary to stop there. It was really good. I think it really helped that we had an extra smoke on our man holding drop. I think that was Magis. I'm mistaken, or config, maybe.
It was config, yeah. Cajun on a glass cannon or. Not sure why. Wasn't he one of the last players left alive? Did he go down? He must have gone down.
Yeah. And
he went down to body, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, surprisingly off no armor. It seems like they don't have quite a good read on how much money G2 have. This becomes a liability. You know, you don't want to have, like, I guess the most extreme example is like 5 ops versus an eco, because if anyone misses, they all get taken down.
Yeah, Law, the boost. Shocks again, starting things off, but MSL is quickly there to trade. Rubino will take down Scream. It's all down to Shocks himself, the man that was mentioned. 51 HP, he's already got 3 kills in this round, 2 more to find. Got a minute left on the clock, and he's actually going to go for a rotation, try and play in the mind games a bit. This is smart. He's going to try and split them up.
Yeah, this is really scary. The thing is that in a 2-on-1, most of the time, you want to play it together so that you don't lose the bomb site, put your teammate in a 1-on-1, which is the most awful thing you could do. But the map is so big, so that means that the rotations can be long enough that if the bomb goes down, it almost is easy for in and after plant to separate the 2 CTs. And here's Shocks actually make noise and drop. Yeah, no, might be. Oh my God, Cajun had no idea.
How did Cajun not hear?
That's LAN life, man. That's LAN life. You can't hear everything, and maybe somebody was talking.
Oh, that's a big problem. Now he has got that individual duo. I thought the sound cue would be enough.
Shocks knows that this is a B rotate or an A rotate, excuse me. Just by the way that Cajun was opping towards the site.
Yeah, hearing the smoke as well will give away the position of config. Is going to go for a pop flash, peeks out, but Shocks is all the way around the corner. He's played that absolutely perfectly.
He aced.
This is what was mentioned before. Shocks takes down every single player, an absolutely huge round, and while that 1v2, I thought it would be ended by the drop. It doesn't, and, well, this is why it was highlighted. You've just got your hands on your head. I think your Shocks.
A part of me felt like config clearing this angle means that he's probably going to get the kill. And then, of course, Shocks peeks out at the perfect time, because if he did get cleared, he probably would have lost that duel and then wins that round. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and that's a reset as well for Dignitas. Rubino will manage to find one. Looking for a little bit more with this Dig. Not going to find it. Screen does what he does best. Rips his head clean off. Shocks in a prime position. We'll add one more to that fragging power. Magisk, well, it may just be worth saving this. Something to play with. I don't know how much money they actually have left. But after that sort of backwards and forwards position, I do feel like they're going to be struggling a little bit. I do remember they had at least one clean round.
I wonder how much of Shocks right now is like, oh, you picked Cobble versus me? Did you go to sleep early last night? Did you miss the action?
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Oh, absolute madness. And, well, we're only on the 9th round.
Yeah.
And that was all he bought there was, what, P250 and some armor? He picks up that M4.
Yeah, and you know, and it was kind of the buy from Dignitas that was like the op no armor. They were really anticipating going up against a buy, and sacrificed a lot because of it. And ironically, put too much in the wrong places.
Yeah, that's going to be another round. A relatively easy round for G2. Wasn't too much to counter them. They are now 6-3 up. That has to hurt your confidence as well. When one man who hasn't even bought properly takes you down with an ace. If they didn't have stuff in their head about Shocks before, they definitely do now.
Yeah, he's going to get in your head, like he's going to force his way in there. He's going to crack your skull open, he's going to reach in your brain, he's going to wiggle his fingers around.
And well, straight up again. They seem to be reading the economy pretty well. Cajun trading one back at least. Not in a position to do too much more. And while they lose Smiths, he only had an SMG in this scenario. If they can keep the rest clean, then this has been a, well, reasonable round out of G2. Making that little bit of extra money for that AWP in the next round. And again, it's still off the back. This is straight off the back of Shocks. It really does just show how much of an impact that one man can have. You can't counter one person, but it seems like they may have to. I really still in
I don't
shock.
understand. I personally don't even understand the concept of countering somebody, like a player,
No.
because like how you supposed to know where they're gonna go? Like how are you gonna have like this flash always blinds Shocks? Like what does that even mean, really? Oh man, oh my god. Woo. Man, shots like that, man. That's what gets the people going.
Yeah. The scary thing is the next maps does too.
Managers out here like, my job is so easy.
It's just basically like, Shocks, do you want some water?
Yeah.
You're having a good time? Yeah? Oh, okay, that's fine then. I don't need to do anything else. Of course, back 2-4 by now. No AWP for Cajun in this scenario, and it has been impactful when available. Of course, didn't really get a chance to use the AWP in the round that Shocks went crazy. Was caught out by his positioning, and well, now we look at them sort of 3 players again over towards A. This time the read is actually good. They know exactly where this is going. The push from G2 is in that direction.
Oh, the flash is a tell, but the footsteps are even more so. Will they clear MSL? He was here the other round.
Ooh, this time he gets caught out, though. Actually, think through the body of a teammate. Magisk will take one back, and his quick trades across the board. Taking a little while to get onto that site, and with Magisk in this corner, he could be quite a bane in their side. They've managed to take down Rubino in the meantime, though, and definitely looking at the position of Config. They are all gathering up. If he can get here in time, there's a huge chance, but he's actually going around the long way. I wonder if the footsteps were actually heard. Yes, it was. Shocked so quick on the trigger.
What?
Takes the head clean off of Magisk. Config, he's got to try and do the Shocks there again.
You have to be deliberate with your peaks. You know, some people would walk out that whole angle and give an opportunity to kill. Shocks is like, we're late in the round. There's 2 people left. I know you're in one of these spots. I'm fast peeking this. Like, I'm taking this confident step out because I feel like you're there, and this is the best way for me to win this trade. Legend.
Already 17-5.
Oh my god, really?
17-5.
Dude, a 20 kill half is out of this world. 17-5 already. We're only 12 rounds in.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do at this stage when a guy...
You know, back in the day, you could just hit F10, but now you have to hit F10 enter. There's a safeguard put out by Valve. Those are the steps that you follow when you join a server and Sox is on the other team.
Of course, we do have ourselves a bit of a force. Not anything too crazy, though, but there's MSL with the first kill. We've taken down Body RPK, quick to trade, and, well, really looking at the position of Magisk here. Still has presence towards long. He's going to be removed by RPK. Been good on the opening kills so far. Shocks playing the lurk position will eventually rotate round as Config actually looks to push forward. this should give them the information of where the push is actually coming. And already we're going to see Cajun find one. Actually grabs a second as well towards Long. Rubino with the headshot. This leads it down to Shox in a 1 versus 3. An awful lot for him to do in this scenario. Looking for Rubino, not going to find it. He's slightly surrounded in this position. And there we go, Rubino, great round from Dignitas.
Wow, Rubino and Cajun, two kills apiece on the eco. They managed to shut down the aggressor from G2. That's really good. I mean, it's really nothing more than just a couple of really nice shots hit, and first bullets being hit along with damaged players just getting taken down. This is a round that G2 can kind of write off. They realize that it was an eco one for Dignitas, so that's really big for their economy. But they can reset right here. They have a lot of confidence still, and it's still a scary spot for Dignitas, whose economy is teetering.
Yeah, this is an even bigger chance for a reset now as well. No loss bonus. Would look like the end.
Oh,
the
the molly is so useful here.
Put out.
Did someone just toss a smoke onto it, or is that a flash?
Looks like they have actually smoked this off, and well, now we look. There's Scream. Magisk is removed. There's still another player there that's going to the MSL, and he will trade a Scream now isolated by the Molotov. So not too bad for Dignitas. It isn't a 4 versus 4. They still have 2 players over towards A, but it's looking like the split. Up close, we have Rubino. Do have to be a bit careful, and Body's going to remove him from the map as well. This split is all but on. They have to be very careful. You can already see Cajun with the rotation, and RPK, he's actually just going to fall away. They're going to take this man advantage, and they're going to roll with it.
We saw Rubino make a similar play in a very similar situation, ended up getting traded out. It was 4v4, tried to retake drop, didn't get away with it this time, and you can see it's already a much more different round. CTs are scrambling at this moment. Long B is being taken once again, but now we have an extra man at drop.
Look at MSL. He's going all the way around the back.
Oh, that's really good.
He knows where they're coming. He may have to speed it up a little bit if he's going to actually have an impact, because it could be that all his teammates are dead by the time he gets there. He is now starting to run. He's going to come up with that flank, and there we go. It's actually going to be RPK to spin around Cajun, though. He's doing all the damage necessary, not quite able to hit that final shot. Definitely looking at Smiths now. This 1v1, 15 seconds up and coming on the clock. It's down to Smiths, and Cajun misreads it. That's going to be Smiths finding the frag.
I love how the in-game cam is on RPK, and then it zooms out to RPK. Take the credit, man. The calm warrior. But yeah, well, really well played. I like that Smiths, as soon as he saw Cajun jump out, just decided to leak out of Long B with that info. He's got to be right side side. I can take these angles off of my list of things to check and then play from there. Yeah, Cajun really thought he was going to be offered up a lot more respect in that situation. He got called out.
Yeah, broken economy, a broken buy. Magisk and MSL down to just pistols. Still with an AWP onto Cajun, and he made a massive impact in the last round. It wasn't quite enough for them to take it. Cajun again. He actually hits the second onto RBK as well. That's a nice shot to make, and now they're actually looking pretty good to take this round. They've still got to deal with Shox and Scream. Make that just Shox versus 4. Even this is too much for him to ask for, and MSL will close it out.
Wow, Cajun has been a beast so far. In these last couple of rounds, he started to really come alive and show his value as an opper. Yeah, that he's still got it, man. He's holding it down from Chicken 2. 2 kills on the rounds, all you need from one player, and he is delivering. There's the first one, and this one, he gets bullied. He gets shot up a lot. RPK feels like he can even take his time, but Cajun, calm and deadly, lines up the shot and hits him.
Well, yeah, we complimented Device on that. The ability to calmly take a shot as an AWPer is something that not a lot of people can have. It takes a lot of skill in itself to not just go for something crazy and aggressive, but he does line up that shot. Rubino with the boost. He's punished by Body. And this gives them a way back into this round. They, of course, start with a weaker buy themselves now that this has been so backwards and forwards. Of course, a 9-6 half wouldn't be too bad for Dignitas. 10-5, a little bit further down the scale.
I think it's actually in the best interest of G2 to try to take drop here just because they could go pick up a gun. I don't think that'll necessarily play a factor in how they have this round go out, but if they're thinking about it, man, they've got 2 pistols that they want upgraded.
Yeah, especially if they take down Config in the process. They are going to do exactly what you suggested and have picked up a rifle without actually any engagements at all. This is going to work again for the split. The 2 players, they have to be very, very careful. MSL, he's now a little bit isolated, completely blind as Body takes the frag, and he's going to grab both. Now adds another. It's not going to be him, it'll be Smiths to find it. But already this is looking very problematic. Look at Shock's position, ends it with the 1-tap.
Wow, what a monster. And if you want to check out how Shox got here, where he's at right now, You can do that by downloading the Score Esports app. It's free. You get live updates, stats, news across all esports, and it's available on Google Play, Android, and iOS.
Yeah, of course, massive amounts of information there. So always check that one out. At the moment, someone else is going massive. Shocks. Body having a great performance as well, but this man just, what do you do?
It's so wild that he's doing it. Like, it's just the same map the next day,
Didn't
different
get
team.
20. So close.
Yeah, he didn't get 20. He had like 17 at
17 and 5, and then
17 to 5 at like round 13 or whatever it was.
12, 13,
12,
yeah. Cajun has been doing a lot of work though. The rounds that they've won definitely come down to him. There's a lot of support for all of the teams. I'm actually pleasantly surprised considering all of the CIS or local teams have actually gone home.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of support, and well, there you go, Scream not going to be able to find it. Config with 2 though. And getting it back in their favor. Shocks and Smiths fighting to try and bring this one back. The B site has actually fallen in the meantime. And now the bomb is going to rotate all the way back around. Shocks looking to try and retake it alone. Rubino will fall. And now he just falls back away. This is smart. Repositions. Doesn't allow them to get that refrag. And in the meantime, he's waiting for Smiths.
Oh, Cajun getting a really good spot by the door here. This player from far away might bait him into thinking that he had line of sight long enough. No one's crossed quite yet, but he also might decide to take this peek, especially if his teammate finds his kill. And there it is. Yeah, very nice positioning. Excellent round from Config 2. How it must be depressing for G2. They had the crossfire long and he deleted them both.
Yeah, smart stuff from Cajun towards the end of that round, managing to make sure that, well, unless Shocks went for that peak, and like you said, he felt like he was holding the angle long enough that somebody wouldn't be able to cross, but Cajun did it early.
Yeah.
And because of that, doesn't actually check the angle. 3 Deeks, 5-7, Smith saving for the AWP. But Dignitas, well, they've got themselves into a position where it definitely is still doable. The pistol round, they want to win all the follow-up rounds, of course, but then they are only a couple behind on the favored side of the map.
Yeah, I think both teams are constantly in danger. We've seen ecos go both ways already in this map, and don't want to take this eco lightly whatsoever. There's also, I see a lot of incentive for G2 to try to buy here, even though you know, they probably do it on a very low chance, just because they have had so much success and are clearly on fire.
Well, yeah, P250 round from Shocks that ends up with an ace picking up an M4. I think that highlight alone shows how successful they've been with the pistols. In terms of the T side, definitely taking their time with this one. They've got MSL feeling out the map, but it is an A stack, and it's probably a good thing now that they seem to be rotating away towards B.
Yeah, this is a lower A ramp stack where it's really cool because you can all stand right behind each other. So if they come and peek you, it's like a triple peek, and it's like one of the only situations you get that in the entire game, really.
Yeah, an increase in altitude, but there goes MSL. Will be Shocks taking a lot of damage. That's a nice shot, though. Looking for more. MSL's doing a hell of a lot of damage in the meantime. They do not want to push into this Deagle. Taking their time with that one, and they do make it work. MSL's doing everything on A. He's taken the A site solo against 3 players, so very impressive stuff from him, and while making a lot of money in the meantime. $1,800 made. Don't worry, I'll leave the maths away from you and leave it down. Just a body with the dig. Finds one.
Yeah, these kills do matter.
89 damage taken in the meantime, so
T lives matter.
I want to be careful, and of course, as long as the rifles are kept for Dignitas, they're not going to be too disappointed, but it does kind of counter out all the money that MSO is making.
Indeed it does. Body has a lot of value in the next round if he hangs on to this armor and Deagle.
It doesn't look like there's any reason for him to lose it.
Yeah, and there's no reason to chase. And some teams do get a little bit lazy, and then sometimes on these ecos they'll end up trying to find players who don't have much to lose, end up losing a gun or two, and it's much worse for the CTs in that situation. So it's good that everyone's just calm. Move on to this round. Wait, is this another save, or did we? Yeah, this is another.
This is a save from the CT side, yeah. And saving that one dig. And then Shocks will buy for P250. Definitely think that's worth the investment. He has been strong in this game, to say the least, but they're not winning by a huge margin, by any stretch. Dignitas have been finding a few rounds across the board. Cajun definitely part of that mantle. Nice round coming out from MSL in the last.
It's kind of cool how, again, on the last round, they didn't have much info, and they decided to go. They did this exact play and then ended up going B. MSL stayed right here. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing again, but it seems like once they clear out forward A, they're actually worried about a gamble stack towards this side of the map. That being said, now they're actually challenging a little bit, and I don't know if this is going to mean they want to go back. Our man Shocks, actually, with this P250, is in quite a dangerous position. It's hard to clear this. You don't really want to walk all the way back to spawn to make sure that B hasn't been pushed. Though they are sending someone all the way around, so it might work out. But even still, if Shocks hears him, will have an advantage, as he's got two close angles, left and right.
Yeah, I think he has exactly that. He's just heard Config, and a bit of an interesting position for Config to go around. There's an AK. They are going to swap back, and they will end Shocks. That's an important kill. Don't want to leave him running away with an AK. Oh, Body.
Oh, my God!
Blind shot from Body. Gets himself that second kill. Magisk is low as well. That's the bomb dropped. If he beats out, he's found a third headshot. This is a huge round coming out from Body, leaving it down to just MSL. I don't think he even has time to do this. He's got to run, get the bomb, and that's going to be Scream ending the life. What a massive round. That really shows the value of saving a Deeg.
Damn, what a legend. All those 3 shots, the second one completely blind. Shocks looking jovial right now. Body looking calm as ever. And yeah, you're always in danger. This was the full eco. Last round, they did less damage.
How does he not crack a smile after a round like that? Third one didn't even need to be a headshot, just style points.
I think that's just the face of a player that expects a lot from himself, you know?
Definitely a good thing for G2. Not going to settle with this semi-final, but they still have to take down Dignitas. This buy, definitely not the best one yet. RPK and Shocks are actually going to go heavy on the nades and pick up SMGs instead. Rubino and Config down to just pistols. Yeah, a couple of trades going either side. Actually, one of the rifles lost already. Shocks missing the spray a bit, but will actually get himself a rifle in return. Now we're looking at the AWP of Cajun. They have got these players kept out, but really Shocks is going to be the thorn in their side. He's behind them at the moment. A missed shot from Cajun won't connect, and actually there goes Shocks. That's a big kill. Body again finds another one back in return. Only the head showing now down to just Scream. Finds the first and the second.
Whoa.
Big plays across the board at the moment from G2. We've had Shocks. We've had Body. Now Scream.
Now Scream, yeah, everybody coming up to play, and that just is G2.
There we go.
That is G2. Everybody playing, everybody having the capability to come up with these incredible rounds, and that spray control, the second headshot, such beautiful stuff.
Demoralizing stuff, it has to be said. A lot of players killed in that scenario, but just both players there, and then just to line it up to finish off. It came very close, 15 HP onto Scream.
Yeah, definitely quite fortunate for Scream that they were that close together. There's not really a way to anticipate that duel happening the way it was, but at the same time, there were 2 sets of eyes on Scream. One of them probably should have gotten the kill.
For definite. I feel like the player behind, maybe not so much, because he was dead before he even knew Scream was there, but either way, it's a great play. And, well, I don't know, are we seeing some sort of pause coming in at the moment from Dignitas?
I love how Smith looks so short. I mean, in person, Chalks is I don't actually know who's shorter. I think Smith is actually taller than Chalks, but his chair is seated so low right now.
Is he lounging?
No, he's not quite JDM.
But now we do look towards Dignitas to make some sort of response. Of course, that's going to hurt their money quite a bit. I don't think they got the bomb down in that scenario either, because no defuse coming in at the end. So you definitely have to wonder what they're going to come back with in the next round, because not only was there a sort of quasi buy in the last, it was a couple of rifles and AWP, some Tech 9s.
Yeah.
But they lost the one, of course, to the Deeg. That reset them, gave a load of money over, and now they've lost this round 2 off the back of a 2 versus 1. It's going to be demoralizing, but also it's going to hurt their cash.
Yeah, it's just straight up from no matter how they spin it, they've got a really tough decision to make depending on how much money they have left over, and they're in such a tough spot because of these crazy rounds that have just occurred. Always so exciting, man, watching G2 play. Dignitas as well, and I love the clash of styles. Just like in the Cloud9 NIP game, you've got a team that's a little bit more explosive, a little bit more crazy these days, against a team that's a little bit more structured. And we see that from Dignitas, who also have the firepower.
And this is a straight spray down through the smoke. Smiths and RPK not going to allow anything to come in this round. Push will go through once again, all coming through the smoke, and why not? RPK closes it out with a triple. Nice, easy round, no players lost, not even much utility spent, so that's going to be a great moneymaker.
Yeah. So now we'll almost certainly see the buy. They took the pause to talk about it. They've made some discussions. The thing is that's kind of hard is do we do the same thing again? Because we're getting close. We're just losing to incredible individual plays from G2, or do we try to do something new because we want to avoid X player and X site? I mean, that's a tough task in itself, because who do you really want to run into considering everybody's firing on all cylinders right now?
Yeah, I genuinely don't know who I'd want to run into at this stage. RPK's been good. Body, well, can't take anything there. He's been right near the top with Shocks. And, well, Smiths, he's going to start off this round. 3 players currently towards this long position. Definitely not something expected. Config going to find one, but it's RPK with the trade. So no love lost there. 2 players now going to go very aggressively out mid. This is a bit of a problem when you look at the position of Shocks, but his head is removed back to a 3v3. Still another flanking player, though. They should know this. RPK was the one who got the kill. And actually, the 2 players on B, they are very, very far away at this stage. A lot relying on RPK just surviving, I guess. Gonna go for the frag. Doesn't find it. MSL will remove RPK. And now you have to wonder, well, what are these guys going to do in the retake? Their money is not saved just yet. They do keep it clean in the last, but there goes Rubino finding the headshot. So this pause definitely looking like it worked.
Now, Stream has an opportunity to get a kill. It looks like, no, Rubino finding the better of him. Good positional play from Rubino to come in on the big flank. Dignitas dealing with that long setup really well, ultimately. I mean, running up the ramp, I thought, could have been a bad idea, but they got lucky a little bit with Shocks only have the UMP. Though then again, it was Shocks' option, or yeah, Shocks' choice to hang on to it into that round because they hadn't lost any players previously. But he had to push up to that wall, and that's what left him kind of hung himself out to dry in that sense. And it was because Dignitas moved up so fast, though, that they were able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, interesting, though. Gone from no AWPs in this whole half so far to 2 in 1 round. So Shocks and Smiths. No doubt in the abilities there. Shocks has been on point, but there goes Rubino entering onto the site, looking for a second as well, but Body's there to trade. Cage him, however, will bring this back into an advantageous position. Scream, he's got himself up towards the site. We saw Stewie in this very position, looking to take players on while the bomb's being planted. Smart enough, but still Config will be there for the trade. Smiths, the first time we've seen him with the AWP on this CT side, running through the Molotov, taking a hell of a lot of damage down to just 2 HP, and Config going to pick up that easy kill in the end, and there's MSL to end it. Quick round, and, well, Dignitas come out on top.
Not exactly sure what Smith was trying to get away with there. The bomb was already down, and he had to come into that angle that the smokes were funneling him into, so running through that molly may be a little bit of a risk considering RPK was clearly intent on moving a little bit slower, but from the looks of the minimap, maybe it looked like he was a bit farther up, so hard to tell what the intention was, but Dignitas was a successful B-take, a really good entry from Rubino. Killing Shocks right away is always a plus, and did it without losing any HP, so nice for him.
Yeah, now they look to just take this round by storm. Very aggressive. Body with the Deeg once again. Looking for some more headshots, but Cajun B will end his life. Scream, he will not get anything done either, and as Shocks gets close and personal, he loses his life to Rubino. Quick round again. Dignitas taking no fuss, and they're getting themselves back towards that even point.
Yeah, it's becoming a real game all of a sudden, and if you look back at some of the rounds, it's like G2 have won crazy rounds off the back of individual play, so it's really good. Dignitas staying strong mentally and just focusing on the round ahead of them, as opposed to considering how they lost those rounds and how much ground they have to make up. I think, let's see what the setup's going to be for G2. It's very standard. One in a rotator spot at A. They're really heavy focus towards B. No adjustments being made quite yet. Now we're back to 2-3, and long is being aggressed on once again.
Yeah, the press on long seems to be something they like to do quite a bit. It has called them out previously, especially with their ability holding the middle ramp position. They just seem to let it go before, which was their downfall. Body with the spray does actually catch Rubino with 42 damage. And now RPK is going to go for that peak, and MSL actually having a really big game, punishing.
Bomb going to go back up to drop, and yeah, MSL is having a fantastic game. Maybe a map that he's potentially really good at. And oh, looking for another frag. Miss. I don't think he expected to run into someone that quickly. Body also. Is he in a spot that'll get checked?
Yes, it will. Molotov. And cage him again. Another player already highlighted. Shocks trying to get back into this one. Smoke will be thrown out, leaving him with little to do. And cage him, he's just holding.
Oh,
I think he just spotted that as well. So now going to go for that peak. Too quick for you, Shocks. Not this time. And Smiths now. Is there really anything he can do in this scenario?
No, almost certainly not. I think, yeah, he probably should just ran pretty quickly. Maybe he was worried about a flank, I'm not so sure. But Dignitas steal another one up and essentially winning in their default. It was Body to get some early damage off on long B at the beginning, but then yeah, after that, MSL finding the trade. RPK coming down lower, it seemed a little bit risky. I think maybe he heard an opportunity, thought that players would be setting up for something and didn't expect them to be there, but he thought wrong and got caught off guard.
Yeah, now the point where G2 feel the need for a tactical pause. I do think it's a good opportunity for it. They've lost quite a few rounds in a row after a dominating T side, and what was it, 11-4 or 10? No, 10-5.
Yeah,
10-5.
10-5. Yeah, and it looks like Dignitas are finally just like winning the one-on-ones quite often.
Yeah,
and that might potentially affect the confidence of G2, who do rely somewhat on their aim because they have extremely good aimers, but being on par in the default is very important for your confidence on T side. It's important to be able to slow it down and still know that your teammates might be able to get something done on the other side of the map. And getting G2 on a save right now, really good stuff.
and this seems to be their typical save strategy, actually. Whenever there's a save in point, whenever they read the economy, they go aggressive towards that B site. MSL opening up this round. Shocks with a lovely 1D though. Looking for more, but Magic's had other ideas on the other side of the map. We've seen Scream find a kill too, but cage him. He's going to end Smiths. RPK, not quite enough, and now Scream's the last man standing. Got himself that deagle. They will have a buy coming back into the next round, so any damage he can do will be valuable for the team.
Let's see if they will talk about his 1Ds. 100 HP in the door, a couple players hurt.
Ooh, I think
looking over the top of the
Molotov
fire. Magnus can't actually find the bullets, but there it is. Twists his aim up, gets a headshot, puts a round on the board. Dignitas got to be feeling themselves at this moment, because if you look back at the half, you see a lot of rounds they probably should have won. So in total, have finally made up for it. Now we're only 4 away from taking this to a second map with a 1-0 lead. It's G2, no head armor, excuse me. Not the worst thing in the world. I think you actually, you have the potential like get wall bangs in the head. Some people don't take that into consideration, but
not too common.
Not too common.
It's probably worth that extra nade or whatever it is you save, extra money, a kit. There's plenty of things that you can put down to that head armor not being purchased. So it is a small risk with possibly a small reward, depending how that nade is used. In terms of their positioning at the moment, we are seeing a predominantly A presence with just the lurk of Rubino currently over towards B. Again, we've got the two players very close to each other, edging towards long, but not quite actually peeking out yet. I think this relies on Smiths looking for the peak, and then we have RPK as sort of that backup man.
Very calm right now on the map. A lot of respect being given. Not even a ton of spam coming out. Utility being used. The Molotovs, I feel like, need to be held onto longer just because they're really expensive and G2 are almost out of utility in total. There's a nice pick from Smith. Not sure how that event transpired, but looks like he's held down long. He's also unstable, which is kind of a precarious spot. Can't get spammed. Ooh. Oh, and realized he has to fight for control.
Oh,
whoa, what a shot! Oh my god.
Is that the second time he's had the AWP, I think? And whoa, that is why they should have it more.
Damn.
Big play. And the scary thing about that was RPK was actually forced into a rotation. He moved away. This shot here, that's just wonderful. Rubino, he did not know what hit him there.
He didn't deserve that.
I don't think anybody deserves that. That was brutal. But that's going to give G2 another round towards their number 16. The pause has paid dividends. Smith's taking a slightly more aggressive angle. You can see the support from RPK again. I think that flat, the thing is, the presence from Rubino actually almost forced the rotation all the way from RPK. He was already out the door, and Smith's found that kill, and you saw him quickly scuttle back. So almost fell. Luckily for them, Smiths did his job perfectly, and well, another individual play that has helped them get to a closer point. Looking at drop at the moment. Still a minute left on the clock, so nothing too much to worry about in terms of time. They also have Config on the opposing side of the map, just walking around, trying to spot out a frag, make some noise.
Wow.
It will hit the shot there. Scream down to 38 HP, but it's not quite the kill that they would have wanted. And Cajun has taken damage in return. Smiths again over towards that A site, will remove Config. And look at this Molotov, that's actually perfect. Does he spot out Rubino running away?
He took an angle that was way too tight and then changed it and let Rubino escape in that situation. Could have forced Rubino to fight in the fire. Oh, MSL somehow. Oh, I don't even know how he found his way out here. Rubino, though, catching body off guard. MSL making the play of his life. That's huge. Smiths, though, can potentially opt across. The smoke comes out.
No.
He doesn't hit an insane flick this time, and now it's just RBK. But wow, what did MSL just do? How did he get there?
Window?
Oh, yeah, I guess he came out the back of drop because Shox. Scream was on tree watching the front. Shox came out to rock, and I think they assumed that, or Shox made the decision, I can leave the back of this out. No one's going to come out the window into B, and they got called out for it hard.
Yeah, MSL, big plays.
BDPs, man.
This is scary stuff now for G2. They're on the verge of a reset. Their money's not good. They don't even have the Molotovs to throw out. You said they were slightly wasting them. I am inclined to agree, but now they don't even have them. There's no opportunity for any Molotovs. Pop flash out. Smiths is blind, will have to fall back. He is alone this time. No support from RPK. The rotation will quickly be there.
Yeah, no, funnily enough, he held that angle last time, and they just missed their pop flash and then walked right into his crosshair. But he had enough time to just sit there. Didn't know it, obviously, but probably would have been offered up the same exact fight as he did last time. Would have been a huge opening kill. But the flash making the difference this round. And lower A just being cleared out. The tour to A as you go from upper to lower. And essentially you can fall back or go A. It's just that now you don't have to clear stuff out when you want to take it. And whoa, Shocking really aggressive, didn't spot someone. Ooh, Body actually spotting one as well. Going back for more.
Magisk now giving them the man advantage. Molotov actually both go into the corner, so I'm not sure if that was actually intentional. Oh, Scream!
Oh my God!
He goes huge! Oh my God, what is with this game? They take it to 15, Scream.
Incredible recoil control.
How does he do that?
This series of dinks. Barely sees anything, goes so far with it. Dink, 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 dead. Oh my God.
Convict caught with a nade in hand as well. Didn't even know what hit him there. Wow.
And everything was actually like unfolding properly for Dignitas. They just killed Shox. They pushed Body off. Man.
This is all down to an aggressive push though. The money not primed for G2. Here goes Scream though, finds the first. Body actually doing that. Either way, we are looking now. Oh, Shox, he's found himself too. Body looking for a little bit more. RPK's going to find a kill, and this is all falling apart. It's down to just MSL. Goes for the taps, actually hits the shot through the smoke, but he's down to 15. I don't think there's any hope for him in this round. Just looks like it's about to be ended. He will take the bomb all the way around. Maybe able to catch Smiths as well, so adding at least a frag to his tally. But this has fallen right at the hurdle. Great showing, actually, to come back into this from Dignitas. They're looking like they may just fall at the final hurdle, just all waiting around. Look at the position of Shox.
They're not
He has
down
read
yet.
this so well, and there we go.
Yeah.
It will be the man
That's
himself to end it. Map number 1 will go the way of G2. But that couldn't have been closer towards the end.
Yeah, it couldn't have been closer. Honestly, Like from an analyst perspective, Dignitas looked like they deserved it, right? They were doing a lot of stuff well. Not to say G2 weren't, but in some of these rounds had the edge, playing them out man advantage properly, and then just getting punished by someone nuts on G2 every single time. And G2 are like, you come into my house, cobble my house.
I think
and
every
challenge
single
us?
player had a highlight-worthy moment. So I genuinely don't know what else could have been done by Dignitas. They actually had a really good showing. Almost made it work as well. Like,
Yeah.
they were so close, but that round from Scream, 2 different rounds from Scream, Smiths with the AWP, can't even take anything away from Shocks earlier in the game. But that is it for map number 1. We are done and dusted, and going on to Dust 2, where G2 are going to try and firmly consolidate their point in the final. We'll be back in a moment with the analysts after some short ads.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with csgofast.com. CS Go Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize pool of $4.5 million US. Registration for Europe and CIS regions is open. The finals will be held from October 6 to 9 in Kiev, Ukraine. Win your slot in the finals of the World Championship. Register